Magic Drum and Bugle Corps. Brand new organization started here in Orlando, Florida. It's basically a youth activity designed for kids. In this particular organization, roughly between the ages of 14 and 21. We have no lower age limit, but we do have a limit based on maturity because of the demands that are involved in our activity. Basically speaking, we'll be traveling around 13 to 15,000 miles this summer, and it's not really set yet. We're in the process. The tour is coming into focus now, but it still won't be set for another month or two. Orlando being the big draw that it is, we have some very unusual things happening for us, particularly as a first-year organization. The rest of the world hasn't heard of us yet. They won't hear of us really until the summer. And already the word is out, shall we say. We have right now anywhere between 2 and 5 kids, 2 that are definitely committed, and they're going to be coming over from England. 3 kids coming down from Canada to march. We have kids here from Indiana, we have kids from Pennsylvania, kids from Mississippi. It's not the dominant part of the Corps, obviously, but it does give us at least an idea of some of the national impact that we're already having. This year we're going to be featuring a soloist, a little ballerina, shall we call her, who comes to us from the Dallas, Texas area. And she was trained actually with the Joffrey Ballet. Our instructional staff is comprised of some very unique and very talented individuals. Most of them come to us with their own individual background in drum corps. They came out of these kinds of organizations. I think the thing that makes me most proud about this particular activity is that the staff that we have teaching is really a testament to the whole activity. Most of them are educators. Most of them are working music teachers here in the Florida area. We have several, though, however, that are professional musicians. We have several on the staff, 4 or 5 as a matter of fact, that are staff musicians with Disney World. Very fine musicians, and their chosen field is performance. We have people who are professional dancers, professional choreographers. That kind of talent is drawn into the activity, and almost all of them are a product of the activity. Within our adult group, we also have an administrative team. These are the people who are responsible for the day-to-day operations of the organization. We have an executive director, of course. We also have an assistant director. We have a director of operations. This is a gentleman who spends his time coordinating all the various support elements, the ones we've just discussed, making sure that everything is in the right spot at the right time. Obviously, we're trying to create as close to perfect an environment for the kids as possible in order for them to achieve their absolute best. Our support staff are volunteers, parents, adults of all shapes, sizes, skills, and backgrounds. Basically on the road, though, we take around 30 people with us, 30 adults. That includes around 15 to 16 instructional staff. We'll carry people who work with what we call our chuck wagon operation. That's a group of parents and volunteers who come to cook for the kids. Generally on the road, we'll feed them their meals. That's everything from breakfast, lunch, supper to a late night snack after the show at night. Roughly, it costs us, we budget in about $550 a day to feed the Corps. It's somewhere along those lines. Now that is subject to fluctuate dependent upon where we're at in the country, what's on the menu that particular day, and what the specials are. For example, if you get in, I've been in Eden, New York, where they have an Eden, New York corn festival. You get corn really cheap at Eden, New York. On the road, we'll be taking 3 buses. We'll be taking 2 trucks, semi-type rigs for equipment, food, that type of thing. We'll be taking 2 motorhomes to carry our staff. We have a souvenir van and a trailer that goes with us, so it's quite a rolling caravan to get going down the road. We have a huge souvenir operation. That includes a van and a trailer, and then T-shirts of every size, shape, and color with various designs promoting not only the Drum Corps but the city of Orlando. And we're kind of like the musical ambassadors, I guess, of the world, of the Orlando area. With an operation of this size, obviously funding is a prime importance to us. We have quite a hefty budget when it comes to being able to equip the uniform, to provide the creative and instructional staff for the kids, and be able to do it in a 10-month program. Basically, our program runs somewhere. We have auditions that begin auditions in November. Preparations start before that, obviously, but as far as the kids are concerned, that runs from November to August. It's a very expensive operation, particularly when you talk about taking the whole operation on the road. We're self-contained, and we go on the road for anywhere between 50 and 60 days in the summer. This particular year, the 1990 year, our budget is in excess of $300,000 just for this particular organization. And at $2,700 a kid, the kids themselves are only responsible for $650 of that. Is it worth it? Yes. This is an organization, and unlike some organizations that you might find, this is not an organization just for delinquent children. This is not an organization just for emotionally disturbed children. This is not an organization for all superstars. This is an organization for everybody. And the kids you're going to see out on this field, we do have superstars. We have kids that are college music majors. We have kids that are going to be, you'll hear their name one day. Standing right beside that superstar is a child who, this is going to be the greatest thing he ever does in his entire life. He's never really had the opportunity to excel, particularly on something at this level. And here's this child who has had a difficult time his whole life, and he's going to walk out here, he's going to go through our 10 months, he's going to get to the Nationals, he's going to have on that uniform, he's going to walk out there, there are going to be 50,000 people in those stands screaming for him. That's something that he will never, ever, ever experience again. Do we have problem children that we keep off the streets? Most definitely. And we save quite a few kids. That's an intangible thing to measure, because you just don't know, and you never know to what extent you've saved children. You have no idea. At the same time, while we're saving problem children, we're also enhancing the education and having a little bit to do with this kid who's going to be a superstar someday. I mean, they look back on this experience and they say, you know, that was a major turning point in my life. I learned a lot, and I had a great time, and it's something I'll remember and cherish. People look at this when they come out of these kinds of things, the bonds and the friendship and the way it's affected their lives does remain with them forever. It's not something that they just casually forget. Like anything else, whether it's in high school, winning the championship, being on the championship football team, and winning the division or something along those lines, that's something that in most schools is rare. That happens once, every so often, once every few years. We make that kind of mark every single year with these kids. This is the largest sports team you'll ever hope to amass. This is 128 people trying to create one single moment at one single point in time, but we have to create that one single moment, one single point in time, 40 times in a row. And that's very, very difficult. Every night is a contest. Every night is a championship. And of course, when we get down to what we call the summer music games, the big granddaddy of all, the Super Bowl of our activity, that even becomes more important. And it's like going for the gold medal at the regular Olympics. And it's very exciting, and it's very educationally sound, and something that these kids will benefit from forever. We do have rather large aspirations of turning this into a performance group that would be able to do much more than just the drum and bugle corps that you see. We are tentatively, we're looking into the possibility of starting things like majorette corps, community bands, different types of music ensembles that would be able to go out and play, looking at doing some different type of color guard type performances, a dance ensemble. Basically, we're talking about turning this into more or less a education in the arts and the performing arts throughout the entire city. The Blue Devils in Concord, California have an organization similar to what we would aspire to be. They have 3 drum and bugle corps. They have what they call their A Corps, which is the group that we will actually compete against this particular summer. They have a B Corps and a C Corps. The B Corps is more along the lines for junior high type children, maybe early high school. And then they have a C Corps, which is elementary kids. Absolutely the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. And they're out there, and it's just as big a thrill for the child who's 10, 11 years old to go out there and play his horn or play his drum as it is for the gentleman who's 18 years old and out there for the 50,000 fans. Their budget is in excess to run all their operations. Their budget is in excess of $1 million a year. We do want to have the opportunity to make that kind of mark on the youth of this particular area. The whole point of this whole production, obviously, is to solicit corporate sponsorship or sponsorship of any kind to help us fund this massive thing that we've got started here. This particular organization is going to be probably the greatest ambassador that in a non-professional sense that maybe this city has to offer. Over 200,000 people will see us just in contests alone. That's not counting parade exposure. Our vehicles, we're very interested in finding someone to help us out with our vehicles, including the refurbishing and painting of the vehicles, the purchase of new vehicles, and we have very, very large rolling billboards there, just ready for somebody's name to be plastered on the side right next to ours. The main focus of our entire sponsorship campaign is to give area businesses a chance to put into the organization exactly what we're putting into it. We're affecting the youth of Central Florida. We are helping kids to be their absolute best. We're trying to give them what for some of them is going to be the single greatest moment in their lives, the opportunity to succeed and be the absolute best that they can be, the best they can be as an individual, the best they can be as a team. We need your help. We need help from everybody out there, whether that's in the form of money, whether that's in the form of products, whether that's in the form of services, whether that's even in the form of just recognition and support, media support. But we need help from virtually every facet of this community in order to bring this seedling of an idea to fruition.